So it finally happened. I said goodbye to one of my lenses. I was not using it enough and I couldn't see that changing in the foreseeable future, so I sold it. And while the remaining lenses that I have are good enough for the kind of photography that I do, I wanted to experiment. I wanted to go wide. So as a replacement, I got the Fujifilm 16mm 2.8. I used to have a kit lens with this focal length, so the field of view is not foreign to me. But as soon as I started taking photos with this lens, it felt unnatural. It felt too wide. Did I make a mistake getting this? When people ask me if they should get a particular prime lens, almost always, my first question is, do you like that focal length? For me, if you like the focal length and the price is right, other factors such as sharpness become secondary. I want the lens to feel natural, and initially, I did not get that feeling with this lens. So to address that, for 2 weeks, I shot almost exclusively with the Fuji 16mm 2.8. As I mentioned, I already tried this focal length before, but I don't remember it being this wide. The good thing about going wide is that you can capture more of the environment, more context. The challenge that comes with that benefit is it's harder to simplify your compositions. I want to develop a discipline of not including elements that do not help the composition. And this focal length challenged me in sticking to that discipline. The field of view was disorienting. I kept moving because I was miscalculating how far the subject was or how much was included in the frame. As a result, I found myself heavily cropping images in post during the first few days with this lens. "300 shots later, I reviewed my images and tried to pinpoint the things that were not working and how I could improve. I practiced zone focusing with it and created mental notes of how far I needed to be from the subject. I also tried to visualize what the scenes would look like with this lens, a process that seemed so natural to me using the 23mm and the 50mm. And while I'm still in the process of learning and adjusting to this lens, I'm happy with my progress. I don't know if I will be able to master it or if it will ever feel natural. But my mindset at the moment is, while it's not yet natural, be intentional." Some photographers swear by only one focal length. Then there are those who explore and experiment with various focal lengths. Currently, I belong to the latter. And if I'm forced to switch and commit to only one focal length, 16mm is definitely not going to be my choice. But since that's only theoretical, I'll continue exploring and enjoying other focal lengths, 16mm included. If you're sold on the focal length and are curious about the lens itself, here are some of my insights. Unlike the other 16mm from Fuji, this lens is small and light. It's not intimidating, and you can keep a low profile. especially when paired with the smaller Fuji camera bodies. The autofocus is really fast. It's faster than any of the other Fuji f2s based on my observation. With 2.8 max aperture, it's not my first choice for low light shooting. However, if needed, it's good enough, especially if you plan to edit in post. It's sharp, but that's also anecdotal. Either this is sharp or my standard for sharpness is low. The filter size is the same as the X70 and the X100 lineup, so that's a plus. Aside from wishing it was an f2 lens, I really can't think of any cons for this lens. If you can afford it and you like the focal length, go for it. To close, I don't think I made a mistake getting this lens. It's challenging to use, but the satisfaction of nailing a good shot makes it worth it.